Welcome to Tax Smarts Unlocked, the podcast for individuals and small business owners looking to conquer the tax landscape with confidence. Hosted by seasoned tax professional David Robson of Premier Tax and Business Services, each episode is packed with insightful advice on proactive tax planning to help you navigate the complexities of tax laws. Here's your host, David Robson.
Welcome to another episode of Tax Smarts Unlocked, where we break down complex tax topics into manageable insights to help you and your business thrive. I'm your host for today, David Robson, and we're diving into a fascinating area of tax credits that can make a big impact on your bottom line, the Research and Development, or R&D, tax credit. Small business owners often inquire about strategies to not just survive tax season, but to leverage it as a growth opportunity. And that's exactly what we're focusing on today. First off, let's lay down the foundation with a brief overview of the R&D tax credit. Established to incentivize businesses to invest in innovation, the R&D tax credit is pivotal for companies of all sizes, aiming to drive economic and technological advancement. It eases the financial burden associated with experimenting and innovating by reducing the amount of tax owed. The purpose here is simple but profound. Spur businesses to engage in more research and development activities without financial constraints. And you, as a small business owner, can tap into this benefit to fuel not only your business growth, but also your contribution to industry-wide advancements. Now let's talk about eligibility criteria. A common myth is that R&D tax credits are only available to giant tech companies with lab coats and petri dishes, but that's far from true. In reality, if your business is trying to improve or develop products, processes, or software, you may qualify, and the criteria allow for a wide array of industries and activities. What's crucial is that the activities are intended to eliminate technical uncertainty and lead to new or improved products. Even if your development didn't succeed, you might still be eligible for the credit, because the aim is to encourage the attempt and exploration. Addressing misconceptions is key, and here's a big one. Many business owners I've talked with assume the R&D tax credit isn't for them simply because they don't conduct research in the traditional sense. Here's where we debunk that myth. The credit often applies to efforts not automatically associated with R&D. As an example, improving an existing process within your business can make you eligible. The credit is about trying to achieve something innovative, whether that's developing a new product or streamlining an existing one. Let's take a moment to walk through a case study to see these principles in action. Consider a small software development firm that decided to develop a custom program for a client, eliminating manual input and human error from a critical process. Though their project took longer than expected and even required a pivot in methodology, they successfully claimed the R&D tax credit. The credit offset their expenses significantly, covering wages for their research team and software costs, which enabled them to proceed with hiring new employees. The process for applying for the R&D tax credit is systematic, yet approachable. It requires thorough documentation to substantiate your claims, which begins with identifying qualified research activities and expenses. Typically, this involves wages, materials, and any outsourcing costs directly associated with R&D. You then calculate the credit using the regular credit or alternative simplified credit method, which best suits your organization's goals and past filing history. Documentation is the backbone of your R&D claim. Much like preparing for a routine audit, keeping good records helps clarify the purpose and nature of your activities. You'll want to maintain detailed descriptions, project notes, employee time tracking, and correspondence that outlines the objectives, methods, and efforts of your R&D activities. This preparation is not only crucial for a successful claim, but instills a culture of organized innovation within your company. Thinking about the potential savings? The R&D tax credit can significantly impact your bottom line. It's not uncommon for it to reduce tax liabilities by a sizable margin, allowing you to reinvest in your company, whether that's through hiring, acquiring new technology, or expanding your market reach. Integrating these savings into your proactive tax planning lets you optimize finances year-round and invites a focus on growth strategies rather than just survival. With so much at stake, how do you ensure you're maximizing the R&D tax credit? Utilizing tools and resources tailored for your field or industry is a great start. There are software solutions designed to streamline documentation and claim processes. And working with tax professionals or a tax preparation service familiar with R&D claims enhances accuracy and optimizes your strategy. Let me leave you with this insight. Consulting with a tax professional can make all the difference. They bring expertise and experience to your table, unraveling complex tax code and providing strategic advice that fits the unique contours of your business. Professional guidance ensures that you're not leaving money on the table, and it equips you to develop smarter strategies for innovation-driven growth. And that brings us to the end of today's deep dive into leveraging R&D tax credits. I hope you found this episode insightful and that it sheds light on opportunities that may otherwise go unnoticed. By proactively integrating these elements into your tax planning, you're setting a foundation not only for substantial savings, but for a brighter and more innovative future for your business. For those interested in more tailored advice, don't hesitate to reach out to a tax professional. Thank you for listening to Tax Smarts Unlocked. Keep innovating, keep improving, and make tax season work for you.
Thank you for joining us on Tax Smarts Unlocked, the ultimate podcast for individuals and small business owners ready to conquer the tax landscape with confidence. Hosted by seasoned tax professional David Robson of Premier Tax and Business Services. Each episode has been carefully crafted to provide you with insightful advice on proactive tax planning. By adopting a smarter tax approach, you can focus on what you do best, growing your wealth and your business. We're here to guide you every step of the way. Don't miss an episode. Subscribe to Tax Smarts Unlocked on your favorite podcast platform and unlock the secrets to confident tax planning. Remember, it's time to take control of your taxes and unleash your full financial potential.